So tonight I was working on my repulsor and decided I'd make a quick tutorial on putting on transfers. So a couple things that you'll want to have. Microsol and Microset are great. One's for setting the solution, one's for dissolving the solution. Pretty simple. Once you cut your transfers out off of whatever transfer sheet you're using, this is the one I'm using, let it soak in water for a little bit, and as that's getting close to the time that you want, you're going to dip in and you're just going to paint on some of this micro set. So all the instructions are on the back of the Microsol Microset. But you're going to paint some of that on where you want the transfer. We're going to pull this out with a pair of tweezers or something similar. Get a good amount of the water off, but make sure you don't slide your transfer off until you're ready to slide it onto the model. Okay, so once you've gotten it on the model, you can very easily use your tweezers. Just guide it to the place where you think it looks good. Now you're going to want to make sure that you've got it in the right spot. So I've already done the other one over here on the other side, so we're going to kind of check our placement here. Looks like I have that one just a tiny bit more up. You're never going to get these perfect. It's just the nature of the beast. So we're going to just very gently pat that dry without moving it, which I did a little bit. Okay. Try to clean up some of this. That's nothing a little lamy medium or varnish won't cover back over. So what you're seeing right now is I actually decided to go back and put these fire support transfers on the sides here. And then also on the turret. Just thought it could use a little extra symbol type stuff. So I'll show you on the turret here where this one is already dried. We're going to take a little of the Microsol and we're going to, a little too much there. We're going to paint that on very gently. So the Microsol is really, really, really good for when you want to bend a transfer. So right now I'm just kind of doing it just so it lays nice and flat, which is also really good for, but it's really great when you want to transfer like on a Space Marine shoulder pad to lay flat on the shoulder pad on like a curved surface. So the solvent solution actually kind of softens the decal, so let it really smoothly flex. And you may have to paint a little on, let it dry, paint a little on, let it dry, paint a little on, let it dry, until you're happy with the result. So like on this one here, there's a little like bump in it here. So since this is dried, we're gonna paint some of this Microsol on. I'm gonna soften this decal back up, and then we're gonna pull that right out. Just kind of flatten it. So you want to be very gentle whenever you're doing all of this, because if you're not gentle, you will pull it out of place. And I mean, I think I might have already done that, but that's what the setting solution is for. And so we'll see that here shortly. And then I'm just trying to get some of these solution marks off as I see them as well. Okay, so now there's no more bumps in that, which is great. So we're going to come back here in a second to that one. We're going to come back to our turret here, which is already dry as well. We're going to get some of our Microset, and we're just going to really set in this transfer. Make sure it's good to go. So what we did was basically we let the transfer adhere with the Microset by placing that underneath the transfer. So then we place the transfer on top of it, it's set in place. Then we put the Microsol on to soften it up, make sure it's adhering to the spots that we wanted to adhere to. That helps it curve around shoulder plates or something like that, or you maybe have bubbles or something like that. So after that's dry, then you can reset it with the Microset by just brushing that over the top. That's going to set the decal in place. Now the other really important things about this, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you've varnished the model. So I had a combination of matte and ultra matte varnish on this before I put these particular transfers on, but with these over here I had actually sprayed some gloss varnish on there first, and that's really helpful because it makes sure that you don't tear up any of the paint underneath. Sometimes these solutions can actually go in and tear up some of your paint or dissolve your paint enough that when you're messing with the decal, you tear some of it. So the other important thing to do after this is to go back and set it in with a varnish. So normally you're going to want to use a gloss varnish because as you can see, some of the edges of this, you can actually kind of see the edge of the transfer, the clear edge of the transfer. So to get that out, if you gloss varnish over it, when you matte over the rest of it, that part isn't even going to show up anymore, like you see on the other transfers that are already on here. So yeah, so that's just a little quick guide to transfers and how I've been putting them on. I'm going to come back over here with some water. I'm going to try to take some of these solution marks out of here. I have a feeling that's because I didn't gloss it first. But you can see now that that's really set in. I'm not sure if that helped or hurt. But once it's set in, you know, you're not going to move it. Ta-da. So, yeah. That's transfers. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this helps. Hobby on.